Okay, here is a new question. We talk a lot about ghosts and spirits, but what if you were seeing something that doesn't exist yet? Well, hello, my spooky friends. It is good to see you. Say hello to Scully. Yeah, he's had a bit of a glow up. If you didn't know, Scully had an unfortunate incident at the Labor Day barbecue. So, he had to have a little bit of work done. I mean, I don't know what they did, but he seems to be quite happy. And I want to tell you something. The past few nights, I have woke up and Scully is on the internet. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. I don't want to ask. I mean, I guess he's entitled to his privacy too. Anyway, just thought I'd pass that along. You're what? Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll share that information at the end of the video. Jeez. But right now, we are going to tell some great ghost stories submitted by you. Okay, this first submission is by Daniel Rose. Now, let me tell you that Daniel has actually made several comments on videos, and he is talking about future events. So tell me, do y'all understand? Do you all know any idea what this is? He says, "What I want to tell you something strange. I was in my room and heard a baby crying. The problem is there wasn't a baby in the room, and it wasn't from the TV or the radio. I have more spooky stories. I hear a little girl call me daddy all the time that gets on my nerves a little bit. I want to know who she is." Okay, let me also say, Daniel has also seen what he feels like could be his future kids that just don't exist yet. He sees them in various places. Has anyone ever had that? Like, a lot of times people kind of have a premonition of what their husband or, dreams of future families. Do you think that's what this is? I really, Daniel, I don't know. I hope that is exactly what it is. And it's maybe just giving you hope for the future. But what do y'all think? Put your answers in the comments. I hope this video actually comes out okay because there is a hurricane outside. So we're going to see how this goes. Okay, this one is by Dimitri. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I am not good with Greek names. I don't want to murder this one. I am sorry. This is a great story, though. So, y'all listen up. This is really spooky. Hello from Greece. I love your channel. Unfortunately, I only recently found it. That's okay. I've only recently really started being present for this channel the last couple of months. So, one of my spooky stories is this. In 2022, I was at a funeral. In Greece, where I live, they keep the body of the deceased at their home the night before and until the next day before it's taken to the church and then its final resting place. I'm just going to call you Dimitri, okay? Is that okay? um, I they actually used to do that here back in the day, back when things were way more rural. I mean, it was very much a tradition in the South, especially to keep your people, laid out and have what we call a wake. So it sounds like this is what was going on with you. As all the family was sitting around praying and talking about Uncle John, all of a sudden, we heard extremely loud banging and rattling sounds as the floor shook wildly. All who were in there thought it was an earthquake, as we have earthquakes very often in Greece. It wasn't, though. We all looked down and realized all the granite tiles from the front door leading to where our deceased uncle was in the living room had broken up and lifted themselves. Oh my gosh. We were all in shock, and no one has understood or given any logical explanation until today. Has this ever occurred elsewhere? Wow. Just wow on that one. So you're sitting there praying and then you hear this rumbling and all of a sudden the tiles like a line is I'm assuming it's a line like from the front door to the that is crazy. I don't know what was happening. I mean, what do y'all think? Was that his uncle? Doing that? What? I don't know. That to me is a very creepy story, and I would love to hear your explanations for all this. So please, again, comment below. Tell me what you think. Okay, this one is by JKJ. 8985. That story of the lady's spirit leaving her body reminded me of a photograph that my dad took of a dead man's body. This happened in the Philippines back in the 70s, and in that country, the dead go to the family's house and stay there for a couple of days or so before the funeral. My dad loved to take photos of practically everything, so he took a photograph of this man's body inside the casket. And when the film was developed, the photo of the body had a smoky haze floating on top of the body, while the rest of the photo was clear and didn't look out of focus. We had that photo when we were kids, and we'd scream in fright every time we looked at it and toss it at each other to make everyone scared. We ended up throwing it out because we were so scared of it. Honestly, it sounds like something I would do as a kid, and that would be terribly scary. To me, it's not scary now, but certainly back then it would have been. Um, I have seen a few photographs of things like that. You can find them around the internet from time to time, but you know, actually seeing what we assume is the spirit leaving the body, it is pretty cool, honestly. But yeah, definitely scary if you're a kid. Oh, what do you know, Scully? You're already dead. Of course, it's not scary to you. The attitude. This is by Enzia Gold. I hope I said that right. My daughter in law told me when her grandpa passed away, her grandma saw his spirit in a golden light. Then I told my daughter in law about seeing my mama's spirit in a golden one night in a dream. It was not gold as we know it, different light spectrum. I could look back and see the spirit is solid black. That's very interesting as far as being on a different light spectrum. I mean, we know from studying outer space that there are other colors out there that our cameras will not pick up. If you haven't heard of that, that was a discovery. Lord, that's been a long time ago. So there are definitely different things out there that we aren't aware of. I would think, though, that seeing something in a golden light is a very good sign. Okay, this one comes from Vestas Man. I am currently in a hospital and it gets really liminal. I showed this to my RN and she told me that once she saw the silhouettes of hands on top of a fluorescent troffer light. And when she came back to the hallway the light was installed in, the light was reduced to a scattered mess of brightly glowing fragments of glass on the floor. Oh no. I asked her to show me the light and she did. It had been replaced with an LED, but it was only half lit and was extremely buckled, and the plastic was cracked like something was banging on it from the crawl space. The nurses here wear the traditional blue, but are weaning into a more modernized version of the old school white uniform and cap due to public staff identification issues. They have some weird flashing light thingy on their caps that is supposed to flash when the lights go out or something like that. I don't know why they don't just have all the lights on the emergency power backup, but it's cool because it actually played a part in a ghostly encounter of my own. So there is a ghost in the hospital, like messing with the lights and stuff. That is, it seems like the thing that ghosts do. They love to mess with lights, call lights, video cameras, all that kind of stuff. So I guess while you're in the hospital, you have more time to just observe. But it's funny because a lot of people say that, the nurses won't say anything. And that's true. We nurses don't usually talk about the spooky, sometimes to each other. But so, see, you got that story out of her. I wonder what else she's seen. Thanks for letting us hear that one. Thanks for sharing that one. Okay, Anne Abramson. Bleh! Anne Abrahamson or Abramson. Son. I give up, y'all. I don't know what it is with today. Maybe it's the weather throwing me off. My Uncle Joe had a bypass surgery. He was stable and his wife had been by his side for a very long day. The doctor told her she should go home to get some sleep. He was stable and doing well. Uncle Joe said, "No, I'm not. I am not. I am going to die." My aunt just got home to get a call that he had passed and they couldn't get him back. I am so sorry. All his vitals were great when she left. He was right. Look, y'all, if I could tell you how many times patients have told me they are going to pass, and I don't believe them because their vitals are fine, their prognosis is good, but people just seem to know when it's time, and it always, no matter what, it always freaks me out. I mean, it's not like as a nurse you wanna sit there and say, "Oh, okay, you're gonna pass away." I mean, you want to give comfort to the family and hope to them, but still, more times than not, they are absolutely correct. And here's one by Carol Bowman. Your TV coming on made me laugh. If you missed that video, a couple videos ago, a couple weeks, whatever, I my TV came on out of nowhere while I was filming. It just kind of threw things off for me. I had a bit of a problem with my TV around 20 years ago. I posted this story on a paranormal site a few years back, but thought you might enjoy it too. I was in the process of a divorce and bought the house I live in now because it was close to what was then my new job. It had been a rental for about 10 years with several different renters. Coming and going, as far as I know, there had been no deaths there. I was working off a lot of anger by painting and doing repairs on the place. Girl, I hear you. Been there, done that. I had been there about 5 or 6 weeks, and one night around 3 a.m., my TV in the living room turned on with the sound at full volume. I got up, turned it off, and went back to bed. I thought it must have been some kind of electrical glitch. This began to happen about every week. I mean, yeah, we kind of tend to think that, the first time it happens, yeah, it's just a glitch, it's an electrical thing, whatever. Okay, so it's happening every week or so, and it was confusing because I know the sound was not turned up that loud when I had turned the TV off to go to bed, and the channel was different. It would be a cable TV reruns of old 60s and 70s shows. After this happening several times, I thought, okay, I'll just unplug the TV when I go to bed. I got up the next morning for work and found that except for the room I was sleeping in, every light in the house was turned on. No, no, ma'am. That is my electric bill. Stop it. Including the backyard floodlights, the oven light, closet lights, everything. Oh, I'd be so mad. I would be so mad. This scared me, but also made me mad. Yeah, see? Me too. I have worked in hospitals most of my adult life and have encountered my share of odd occurrences over the years. It was only the one night that I unplugged the TV because actually all the lights being turned on kind of shook me. Yeah, I can see that. But a week or so later, the TV came on again, volume at full blast. I stormed into the living room, shut the TV off, and began screaming at the walls. I said, "Now look, I don't know who you are or what you're trying to prove, but I bought this house. I have to get up and go to work to pay for it. If I can't sleep, I can't work. And I won't be able to pay the mortgage. If I lose this house, it will simply sit for a long time while all the paperwork is being done, and you will be alone with no TV at all. Yeah, how about that? We have to live here together, so this crap has got to stop. I need my sleep. If you have to watch TV, keep the sound down." Then I stomped back to my bed. Wow, this sounds like me. I would so do this. I have done this. Exactly done this. Things were fine for a week or so. Then I got up one morning and found the TV on, but the sound completely off. I went about my business of getting ready for work, and before I left, I turned the TV off and politely thanked whoever or whatever it was for not waking me up. The TV still came on once in a while for over a year, but less and less often until finally it just stopped altogether, though it never came on again with the sound turned up. I can't explain it, but then there are a lot of things that I have encountered that I can't explain. Girl, same. Same. It sounds funny though. I can see myself doing this exact same thing. And hey, it worked, right? So I wonder if it got less and less over the years. Did the ghost just decide, to move on altogether? Or did they just, start liking more modern type shows? The ones that you watch. Maybe they didn't feel the need to watch the old reruns anymore. I've seen that. Let's get on with the new. I don't know, Scully. What do you think? Do you think it's do you evolve that way? Like, I don't know what he watches. I'm kind of afraid to ask sometimes. I mean, like I said, he's been doing a lot of research on the internet lately in the middle of the night, and I'll tell you, I think I think he's got like a lot more self-confidence since the glow up. I think he's trolling the dating sites. Yeah. I saw something, I don't know if it was Tinder, Plenty of Bones. I don't know. What kind of sites do they have? But I think he's talking to people. I mean, let's not make a big deal about it, but he seems to have a lot more confidence. That's good. So we'll see what happens. I hope you're enjoying spooky season. I wanted to let you know I'm working on some videos that you have asked for. Um, I'm working on the Premonitions video, also police officer, security guard, that time, law enforcement, ghost stories or paranormal stories. And I have some letters from you all that have been so inspiring that I think I will do individual videos on some of them. I do have a batch of letters that I'm going to share with you real soon, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this, please give Scully a thumbs up. I will see you later. Yeah, we're going to go enjoy the hurricane now. All right, whatever you do, just stay spooky. Bye bye.